I'm Nikki.
I'm Shayla.
And this is...
I said what I said.
We're back.
We're back.
Again.
Can you believe it? We're still here, y'all.
I just think about the time where, like, I phrased it and you guys were, like, cracking up. We're like roaches.
I can't.
You guys are like, Nikki, don't name anything. Don't tell. But
At
dude,
the end of days, all that
we
will
are
be
gonna
left
be
is me and Nikki
we
and
are
the camera.
hiding in your kitchen. Like, we are gonna be here forever. Okay? The drawbacks we have, we just keep coming. The drawbacks are like the raid. Like, the raid keeps hitting us, and we keep coming back.
Yeah.
We do not multiply, however.
Tragically, no. We're working on it.
I think that'd be rough. I know I'm just crazy.
I don't know. Could you imagine a world full of me and you?
I think it'd be a better place. I'm being honest. I
can't. To be honest, it sounds kind of stressful.
It does, but I know for a fact no one would ever tell a Nikki and a Shayla clone, like, this is just too much. Like, they would just go with it. Like, they wouldn't, I don't know. No one's ever, people might say things behind my back, but no one's ever, like, straight up in my face. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And, hey, if I'm taking over,
that is real.
Right? That's what I'm saying. And no experience I've had with, like, people who don't like me has anyone said straight up, like, Nikki, I don't like you. We have a problem. I've always been like, what did you say, bitch?
Right.
Like, snatching people
or
up.
it's just like some real, like, underhanded shit.
Yeah, it's like some slight, and then I'm like, excuse you? Oh, that's not what I meant. Like,
you know, when you're like a tall, large black person, what's the likelihood that people are going to tell you anything?
Hey, you know, this used to feel like a curse, but I view it as a blessing.
Yeah, double-edged sword for sure.
I'm just like, she talked to you like that, she would never talk to me like that. That just is what it is. And it's okay. So before we get into these topics, I just want to talk a little bit about, 1 week was trash, stopped snowing, I'm sick of the snow.
Oh God.
I'm over it, like.
I'm glad it's done. Damn, you know what, now
don't
that I said it, I already said it.
Because I thought it was over with, and then we were hit with this one, and then just days
I hope
on
it's
end.
not, I hope, universe, I was just kidding, I didn't mean to say that. Please.
It just ruined my week. Like I said, I feel like I've been in this week specifically for days.
The entire month.
I'm just like, when is it's still this week? Like, but I'm trying to move past it. I'm trying to be positive, and I'm surprised the goal is to get out of the month as much as I love I love my birthday month more. So I wouldn't even say that. But
Virgo.
So yeah, a lot of people have been asking us. I know we did like live performances every episode, which was like a job in itself.
Listen, I just feel like, we can't always have nice things, right? Because sometimes nice things take a lot of work, right? They take a lot of work. They take a lot of hard work.
Perfect.
They take a lot of just trouble and heartache and stress. And, in 2021, we don't have all of that.
We're leaving that out the door.
We don't have all of that to give anymore. We're
tired. We're tired.
I don't know. I would like to, extend the opportunity if folks want to, record themselves, do their thing, and then just send it to us.
Which would be the easiest.
You can for sure do that, and we can include you. Otherwise, no, you cannot be in Nikki's house playing the drums and shit. No, that's not happening. So,
no. I think, the other space was just and this is gonna sound weird, was such a public space for people. I'm sorry, I'm not that comfortable to just
real talk. It kind of was,
and it has
walking,
dude.
Homeowner didn't even have to be.
I'm
there.
sorry, you can't be walking in and I'm coming out the bathroom because you might get stabbed. And then there will really be no more performances.
Exactly.
But, yeah, same thing. I think if you really want to record yourself, make sure your audio is clear and things like that. So.
And feel free to send it to the I Said What I Said email, which is
I said what I said _2@yahoo.com.
You got it.
You know what's funny is I made the email and I can't remember it. I can't. But I will say I have a nice little security system set up on that
Damn,
Like
right?
you can log in, but I just love this. My brother told me the other day, why don't you isn't it easier to just remember your password? I'm like, shut up.
Wow.
We're in the new ages now.
Can you imagine remembering your password?
Dude.
Who does that?
And I'm the worst because I changed one number. Like I'm that person, the whole thing's the same. I just
Did
changed.
you change the password?
No, there's no password on there. Oh, there is a password, but I'm automatically logged in. It's on my.
Okay, because I'm like, I actually do remember the password.
Okay,
if you change.
No, I have. No. I have the password like in my, telling all my business in my memos. But
I'm dead.
even if you have the password, you can't get in without my approval.
There you
It
go.
sends a notification to my phone, and then I have to approve it. Like I obviously know when you're on there, or you'll tell me, or like when Tiffany's on there. Like I know, but I just love that. I just feel so boss. Like. Access
I'm charging my email.
You was trying to hack my email. Not today. Like I don't know. I get hyped with that, but yeah, you can send it to the email.
Yeah,
that would be the best. Don't
and also
put
I don't
extra
know,
work
like
on it.
send us a message on Instagram just to like give us a heads up that you're sending it via email.
And if you're a trash person, we're not playing your performance.
You send it as much as you want to, bitch. We ain't putting that shit on.
Yes. So, and there's a level of this is gonna sound mean, but there is a level of talent.
Damn, I knew you were gonna say that.
I hate. Did that sound professional though? Like there's a level of talent.
Did.
Like if you're
my feelings.
I don't want to be mean, but like, don't like. I can't. You could send it if you don't hear anything back. You know the answer.
Right.
I guess.
Don't push it. Just don't press.
Do your best.
Don't press the matter. Okay.
Yes. And like I said, biggest
Damn.
thing. If you're
I feel bad.
we're breaking. Hey. We're breaking hearts and taking names. That's
I'm
what
done.
we're doing. Sorry, it just has to be said because like I feel that puts so much pressure on me and you.
I mean that's real.
And I want it to be the best, like, but also like sometimes you just gotta give up on that dream. There's other things you're good at, and that's okay. It's
Either give
life.
up on the dream or work harder towards the dream. Yeah.
Shayla's very sweet. I'm telling you this.
I think I'll tell you, I mean, I don't know, like, even, like, when I first started DJing, like, I was,
To reiterate,
but,
Shayla's a DJ.
But I've practiced, and I've put in a lot of, like, time and hours and putting myself out there, and I feel like I'm getting somewhere.
Well, some things you can improve at. Some things you don't got it, boo.
Well, singing, either you can or you cannot. But
That's
I
what
think
I was gonna
other
say.
things can take practice.
Also, white folks, don't message me with videos of you doing black covers. Like, especially you don't got the vocal range. Like, I can't. Like, I've seen a few covers of some black people, some black artists, like, and I'm just like,
who and why?
this is what happens. You don't tell white people no, and they just think they have the key
Give
to
them an inch, man.
Yep,
You
they
give
take
them
the
an inch.
mile. Okay, but yes, if you want to send in a performance, we will incorporate those. As far as we did everything in that same public space, so like everything happened in that space, so it was easy.
Right.
It's a little bit different. I do not live in a house. I live in an apartment. Also, I mean, I could give two shits about my neighbors, but
I'm dead.
also like I don't know people like that to just be
But right, exactly.
yeah. So.
And the space required to have all sorts of wires and speakers and amps. And
I'm barely getting used to the mic, like setting that up. I can't help you. So if you come here and you're missing things, or things
Then
are
you're
not
just
working,
missing things.
or the Wi-Fi is bad in this spot, I can't help you. Like I just can't. I'm sorry. Like so, yeah. Don't just I don't know. Come prepared.
So we're just not doing that.
Yes. So if you're asking, we're not doing that. Send it in. I don't know why I keep looking at the time. Oh my gosh, I literally cannot stop. Okay, focus. But yes, send it to us and we'll
take a look.
yeah, no promises.
Yeah.
We will look at it though.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we're in the month of February. We haven't had a chance. I think our last couple of episodes.
I couldn't tell you what we talked about.
Same thing. Like I told you, the wine is just not me and wine. It's great, but it's also not
We're
great.
good friends.
Yes, no. But we're in the end. We're heading towards the end. This is the last week
Sort
of
yeah.
February, which is Black History Month.
And the shortest month of the year.
Right. We can't have anything. They just will not even give us a full month. Like, well, you know, I don't know if it was you. Was it you who sent me that thing with like, schools allowing kids to like opt out of Black History Month?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
I think it was you, and I think I was like, we'll talk about it.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Do you remember what schools it was?
I don't even remember that I
Well,
sent it to you.
all you need to know is that there's schools who are giving their students the option to opt out of Black History, as if Black History is
not
world
American
and
history,
American
though.
history.
Yeah.
Like,
listen, if I have to sit there and hear about goddamn Davy Crockett, okay, come on now. It's like mad black people have done way more
Bro.
in America than one motherfucker in a raccoon
and
hat. Okay.
Oh, I'm fucking weak. And the fact, well, also like, so I think about like. So I think about like learning about Johnny Appleseed, who till this day
Isn't that even like that's not even a real person? Is
oh,
it?
it's not. See,
I don't know, Johnny Appleseed. That doesn't sound like a real name to me.
I mean, I don't even remember. All I can remember about this story in school is the name, and something about a tree, an apple tree. I don't know. But
Fuck that guy.
nobody cares. Okay, but it also makes me think of like, so for example, like, you know, when you're in school, you learn about Anne Frank and you learn about the Holocaust and you learn about, and I just remember having in Indigenous history and Black history was like, I don't even think 2 pages. It was like 1 page, like for each.
Damn, that's wild. So, as you all know, I'm from Texas. I went to school in Texas. All my, well, not all, but most of my like primary education was in the state of Texas. I don't recall ever talking about any Native American people ever.
Wow.
So
I can't remember like in social study. Well, you know,
except for like they would talk
like
about
Sacagawea.
Sacagawea, and I think that was kind of
and those stories still be like a whole like
that was kind of like the end and the beginning of that.
like her white prince found her and saved her from eternal damnation.
God.
Oh,
I'm dead. Goodbye.
She was oppressed by her own people. When in all actuality, it was legit. It legit was child bride, like enslaved child bride.
Specifically, like in El Paso, I think. But this probably wasn't until. Damn, this probably wasn't until I got to college. Actually, never mind. I'm lying. Like,
and in
when I was
college,
like, you talked about like La Malinche and stuff like that, but.
Okay, yeah, because I know in college, like, I definitely was, my world on, like, Black history was more well-versed, too, because of college.
Right.
Because I could choose those courses, right? So, all I think about this situation is that's some bullshit, and, like, I'm kind of confused as to how it's even an option, or even a choice.
I know.
Like,
because no one is like opting out of hearing about fucking John Smith. No one gets a choice and I hear about his black ass.
Like,
Okay?
I will be present for Black History Month, but everything else, I'm gonna just sit back.
Right. No one is getting those options.
It's a mess. It definitely is a mess, and like it also makes me think that like how we were talking about earlier is that we learn about, even for Black History Month, we learn about the same 4 Black people, right?
Yeah.
Which we said is Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King, Barack Obama, and
which is a new addition.
Yes.
And then the wild card is Harriet Tubman.
And like, have you heard of Harriet Tubman? Like,
right.
And I see this like, especially being involved in education, especially at like this entry level, like, you know, 1st grade through 5th grade and things like that. I just don't understand. Like, I heard the excuse that it's hard for them to teach like such a like violent and brutal history, and I'm just like, but
it's still history, though.
But we learn about the Holocaust, though. Was that not violent?
And also, like, we have to sit through the fucking Revolutionary War and all that shit.
And that should be boring as hell. Like,
okay, where they're dumping tea into the river or whatever.
Nobody
cares. Okay? But also, right, like, that was a war. Wars are also typically very violent and brutal. So why is that fine to teach in history?
Or even the phrasing, like, so we printed out a bunch of these cards that these kids have to wear every day. Like, they get a new person every day, and it's with a different person. And I just was like rubbed the wrong way, because the one I put out on Malcolm X, it was like, well, he believed in the exact opposite as Martin Luther King.
Do you know what's
And I'm just like, that should what?
Damn, this is like way left field. But okay, this is like
when are we not?
Like, I know.
When are we not?
Okay,
Like,
X-Men,
it's all good,
right?
Yeah.
X-Men, Professor X, Magneto.
I
Literally
think
based on Martin Luther King, like the disparities between Martin Luther
Wow.
King and Malcolm X. Malcolm X being Magneto.
And you know what's crazy?
But
to
hella
me?
people kind of low key love Magneto. Because what was he doing? He was
Helping
trying to protect other mutants, right?
Yes. My thing is, I'm kind of like pissed off that like people can understand that, but they can't understand like
It's
realistically.
an old white man.
Yeah, like
Of course they can understand.
like they're like, oh my gosh, like it's
The
so
mutants.
messed up that they're hurting mutants, and then I'm just like, kind
And
of
then
happens
like
to
looking
people.
like black people, just regular.
So a while back there was this movie called Brightside with
Oh wait, the Sandra Bullock movie?
no, that's
Or am I
Bird
thinking-
Box.
No. The football. It's a football.
Oh
movie?
no! There's is it called Burn Bright or Burn or Bright? It's a movie with. It's on Netflix. Who played it? I don't know if it's. I feel like Will Smith wouldn't sell it like that, but also.
Oh.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
And he's like,
and there's like fairies and warlocks,
yeah.
and he's a
But
part
like
of the
a
police.
cop.
Yes.
I cannot think of it.
So this should piss me off. There,
I
like,
think it's just called
Bright. I think it's called
I
Bright.
think it's called Bright. Oh,
okay.
my God, thanks.
Because we're obviously
I've
Burn
never
Bright,
seen
Bright
it.
Side, Burn. So
I think there's a movie called Burn.
there's a one there. I know the one you're talking about with
God damn.
the football player and like
That
the
was
white lady
Bright
saved
Side,
him.
the bright side.
Yeah.
Or that might not have been the bright side. It was a something side.
The right side. Who cares? I don't care. Okay, but in this way, Bright. It's called Bright.
Yeah.
In Bright. I just think it's like so hilarious, like the parallels they make, like, right? They're literally taking from like world experience and putting it into this movie. But instead of like, hey, this is like, how about you like, instead of like making it a realistic film, it's about like warlocks and fairies.
Which is wild, right? I think
I'm like,
I don't know.
y'all.
I don't know, like, if this speaks to, like, white people's pathology, but that's literally the only way that they could ever understand discrimination is if it's, like, elves and dwarves and, like,
mermaid. But that's the thing. It's like they don't even take that and correlate it and, like, hey.
to be like, I've seen this in real life.
I've seen this happen on a date. And that's, I think, what's so frustrating to me because it's like, you see all these things happen and, like, you know, how we're talking about X-Men and those things. And I'm just like, it kind of, like, pisses me off because it's like, we literally live this. Like, it's just, and it's also like the disconnect is so
4
bad.
years.
Like,
Generations.
you needed Will
Decades.
Smith to have a what is he?
I don't know what he is. I couldn't tell.
Why is this happening? I'm gonna call him a warlock, which I don't think he is, but, or like a
Also,
ogre.
I'm also like,
I don't know what they are.
I don't know. Dan, now that I'm thinking about it, like, to have, like, the central main human character be black is interesting.
Right? And he's a cop?
Yeah, something about
Fuck
that.
outta
That
here.
sounds kind of fishy to me.
It was,
but-
to me, it was this whole, like, cops do bad things, but, like, they're fighting for humanity, too. And I'm like, I will reiterate this 100 times over and over. That is a job choice. Like, that's
Yes, it
a
is.
job. It's a job. You don't get to go home and say, hey, like, you know, I can't take my uniform off. It's just,
you know,
I
I
live
feel like
this.
people at Office Depot who like snap at a customer get fired for way worse. Okay, like
What happened to, like, the customer's always right?
you know.
The people are always...
And I know we definitely be paying their motherfucking salary.
That's
so.
me. I'm sorry, I just can't. Like, it... Ugh. But anyway, so we're talking about Black history
Yes.
and how white people and this is the space of just, like, curriculum, Eurocentric curriculum, just chooses to always, like, do the bare minimum or opt out of this. And I just don't
Listen, all the kids need to know about is Martin Luther King, man. He fixed racism. Thanks.
So I love the fact that I'm, like, in a space to do that because I just swear I stay shocking kids on a daily basis.
dead.
I'm like, do you like that? Let me show you who made it. Like,
dead.
I am like, you like potato chips? Where do you think it came from? Not your ancestors. Like, I just love to be in that space and just, like, have them shook because, like I said, like, they learn about these, like, they know who, like, these basic people are, right? And it doesn't take away from their contributions, but also it's like, They knew who Obama was before, like, they even hit the first grade. Like, come on, let's do something to... And
Right.
I think it's just 100%, like, work. Like, people don't want to do the work. That's just is what it is. And also, this makes me want to shout out Earthseed
Yes. Yes.
Black Art. Is that what it is? We're doing our best. And you know what I just realized right now? It's not the wine, it's just me. Like,
Well, I don't know what to tell you about you. But
so it's Earthseed Black Arts Alliance, which
goddamn, we were on it right there, man.
And they are, it says Earthseed is a Black-led artist nonprofit dedicated to centering and amplifying Black voices in New Mexico.
Yes.
And they made this, I mean, I'm sure you can't see it, but
No, they can't.
it's
They
okay.
cannot
They
see.
just you
Go
see
to
what
the
you
Instagram.
see what you're looking for. It's colors like that.
Bless your heart.
So they basically made this curriculum centered around blackness and black. How do I sum this up? Black history and like.
Yeah,
It's a curriculum, right? It's a curriculum for middle school through 12 through
right,
high
like
school.
This particular project, yes.
Yes. And honestly, I watched it. I thought it was like brilliant. I thought it was really good. If you look at the curriculum and the like.
Wait, I just want to give a quick shout out to our friend Miles Tokeno and also Naima Tokeno. We love
killing
y'all.
the game. I was shook. I didn't know it was going to be a part of this big of a project. So it's like I've seen the individuals.
I know that Miles had done a performance art thing with Earthseed and like Lazarus was part of it. But yeah, this is like
it's brilliant. Like
huge.
Black educators. Are we gonna beatbox now? I'm just kidding. Black educators like creating a curriculum centered around like blackness. Like I think that's brilliant, and I hear all these people who say, "Oh, well, how do we implement? There you go. Pay them too. If you are a non-black person, you should be paying them for their work. Like they're so sweet. They just like. I'm sorry, I'm charging for all my time.
I'm dead.
I am so worn out, but this is brilliant. I checked it out. They have lesson plans and curriculum, and like, it's really like the way they set it up. You literally don't have to do anything. You show the video, and then for each person's video, because there's
like
I have to unlock. Sorry, security code, guys.
I'm dead.
1, 2,
Nine?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. I could have just counted my trees. Forgive me. Yeah, so they have 9 lesson plans, all on specific topics, which is really cool. Like, I don't know why I'm trying to show them, they can't see.
I know.
But
also, like,
check it
to
out.
reiterate, it's all, like, really wonderful, beautiful, smart, amazing, awesome Black people in New Mexico. So,
Right.
It's really cool.
And they're not, I think it's cool too, because they're not focusing, like we talked about this, they're not solely focusing on slavery and Black trauma and Black pain. Yeah, those things did happen, and that is a part of our historical context up until present, but it's
in
not
the Americas,
all,
right? Like,
yeah.
That's not Black history.
That's not all we are. That's not like where we come from. So I think that it's really important, because when I see schools teaching about Black history or educators teaching about Black history, it's like slavery. I'm like, there were Black people before slavery. There's
Exactly.
Black people after.
I'm like, did y'all know that there's a whole continent full of Black
right?
people?
Like y'all. So I think it's really good that they're centering, and I think as a kid, like, especially like Black youth, like it's good to see that represented, because like I don't know, it's just trauma. Like hearing, like even in movies, I'm so sick of seeing movies about like slavery. I'm just like, like this is not for me, like, because I know what it is, like.
Right.
So I think that's like one of the things that I love about it the most. Not only that all these Black folks live here. Not only that, they're all educators in some sense, like.
They're all wonderful.
I'm so excited. Like, they messed up, because like I said, Black History Month at the school I'm at, that's just not going to end. Like, those pictures are not coming down. Like,
I'm dead.
those cards
It is every day.
They're going to be like, February's over. I'm going to be like, and?
I'm still Black.
I'm waiting for the timer to go off where I whiten up here. And, you know, just even, well, kids in general, their concept of, like, race. I don't know how many brown kids tell me they're white. And I'm like, get the paper. I do the paper test.
Dude.
Oh, that's horrible.
Damn, we might have to cut
No,
that out.
no, listen, I do the paper test in the sense that the kids, wait, let me explain myself, that sounded horrible. No, so what I do is these brown kids who say they're white, I tell them to get white paper. And then they put it next to their skin tone, and I'm like, that's white. Because even white kids are not like, unless they're pasty as hell, they're like a cream color, you know what I mean? Like,
They're pink.
pink, there we go. See-through, translucent, we don't know. But just showing them, because they get stuck on this idea that they're white, and I'm like,
But they get that from somewhere, right?
So don't
hang on. If you look at like literally any person from Latin America, if you look at their birth certificate, it says that they're white.
Interesting.
It doesn't say that they're like,
Yeah.
right, as like the race, right? Because what is their race? And I think this is also just like a point to like when people say that like being mixed will solve racism. Latin America, okay? All of those people are
I hate
mixed.
that. Like, did you ever,
They're all mixed. Okay.
did you ever see that like National Geographic that was like, the world will be a better place in 20 whatever.
When everyone is
everyone
like
is
our skin tone and kind of
intertwined
blonde and
and-
has green hair or green eyes.
Yeah.
No.
And
That's
that
not-
I
and
still
freckles.
I still sense a little like white supremacy in that, and like.
Right.
Yeah.
Everything will be better when everyone's light.
But I'm not doing.
I don't think so.
I'm not doing the paper bag test on. I'm not. This is solely for white.
For white kids? Is it for the white kids?
It is for the brown kids to realize. Look, stop telling them. Well, I'm white. Wake up, Joe. You're not white.
I'm just telling you, like, it's coming from somewhere.
I'm
They're not making that up themselves. They don't even know what that means.
Exactly.
To be white.
I'm not gonna do the paper bag test. I feel like I was shamed so hardcore.
Listen, you said it and we were like,
Yes. Whoa.
We said.
So if you're watching this, you need to go past that. Like once it gets to that point, don't say Nikki is doing paper bag tests on kids. Like don't watch the rest of it. Like, it's just to show them that like the color white, they're not actually the color white.
Literally, what's that guy from Twilight?
Okay, first of all, he was white as
What's
paper.
his name? Taylor Lautner. That guy is not
Oh.
white as paper.
I thought you were talking about the other guy.
No.
The
I'm talking
vampire.
about Taylor Lautner.
Is he white?
Apparently so.
He is? Is he like Italian white?
He's like
There's different
he's
types
like
of white.
you know like mixed white, so like I don't know, German and a whole bunch of other white shit, and then he's like on my mom's side, there's like some distant Native American.
Oh my god. But didn't
But
he live in
I
California
feel like
too?
we're kind of the same color, me and Taylor.
Hey, what I'll say right now,
I don't know.
he no. Nothing. He's white. If he's white, he's white. I mean, I told you how shook I was when Pete Wentz
When turned out to be mixed.
But you know what? I told Shayla I knew he had some type of black because his hair.
Exactly.
When
His
he
hair
straightened
yeah.
his hair, when
Yeah.
Patrick and all them straightened their hair was laid. When he straightened his hair,
But even when he had like that short hair,
he
you
needed
could see some
grease.
waves.
Yes, he needed some grease, and then he really needed to apply the heat. And what they were doing,
apply the heat.
well, don't. But I'm saying, if I was his stylist, nobody would have known. But the fact it was probably a non-person of color doing his hair, and that's why and that's why he looked dusty
and musty. We're gonna take a quick break. We'll see y'all in like 2 seconds.
Dusty. Okay.
Don't watch it. No, don't.
Okay, I'll be sad. Okay. Because it ended really well, and then they did that thing with Orlando Jones, and I was like, ain't this some
that
shit?
pissed me off. All right, we're back. Are we back?
3.
Okay. I'm all.
Tiffany's so professional.
I
She
know,
just
right?
doesn't. She's just
I'm ready. 3, 2.
All right.
I'm just kidding.
we kicking it off.
I can't even remember what we just talked about in the first half.
God damn.
My brain just. It's
Real
okay.
talk. I think we got stuck on Black History Month.
Okay, so basically, stop fucking up Black History Month.
Right,
You
but
know,
also,
it's not
like-
a choice.
Like have an understanding that like Black history is like this huge global thing, right? Because Black people exist outside of the United States and outside of the Americas, and so
and not just teaching slavery. Like,
Yeah.
that's trash. Yes. So, yeah, it's about to be over, but like I said,
Black history is every day.
Every day. And you know what? I might just be extra just cause.
I'm dead.
You know?
might as well. Shit.
Yeah, I feel like with the kids I've been real extra, but since we're in a panorama,
Listen, calling the pandemic a panorama is also Black history, okay?
just the amazing creations that we just had a hand in. Like, I don't know, we just make everything better. Like,
True.
It doesn't take away from our struggle or things like that. Like, we still struggle and things like that, but
We could sit here and talk about the history of American music all night, but we're not going to because y'all know. And if you don't know, Google it.
Google it or pay us to tell you. That's the only way you're gonna get it out.
that too. Yeah.
Pay us. We're still two broke bitches. We've talked
You
about
listen.
this.
Don't forget.
Yes.
Don't forget.
So we were talking about beforehand. Well, we talked about it a little bit. So
We're
apparently,
always talking.
about just
We're always talking about everything.
we
no camera.
we were talking about this a little bit before, but and then we're always like, shut up, save it. Shut up, save it for the show. And then by the time we get to the show, I forget.
I was like, who said that? Didn't RuPaul say that to the girls on Drag Race? Like, if that camera isn't on, what you say means nothing.
We've had times where we went through the whole thing, and I just remember us. We were just like, "See you next week." We didn't even talk about it. We were like
speechless. We were just
"See you next weekend." But so this whole like Mars situation and like, okay. So wait, I have a question. If you know, you know. If you don't, it's cool because I don't know. Hasn't like a little rover
been on Mars before?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'm kind of
That's
confused.
definitely happened before. Yes.
I'm a little confused why this time around it's so amazing.
To be totally honest with you, I don't know. I don't know why either. I think the ones before were like, maybe. I don't know, y'all. Correct me in the comments if you must. I'm not sure, but I feel like the last one that was there was like looking specifically for like signs of water. Right, like they all have different missions and different reasons why they send them onto Mars, and so I think this one is looking for life.
Okay,
I could be wrong.
Okay. Also, it's just kind of crazy to me that we can spend millions and millions of dollars on a little robot, but like Texas is.
Can we talk about it though?
Can we please? Because
like, can we talk about
I'm just thinking about that. I'm like,
listen, I'm like. Where is FEMA, yo? Like, y'all are like,
bro,
5 days late.
No plan. We already know Ted Cruz bitch ass. His punk bitch ass.
And they're gonna blame it on his kids.
But my thing is, also, like, but you hate immigrants so much.
Yeah, but you're still gonna go on vacation in Mexico.
You know, sometimes I think about these things and it's just all so, not
Dude,
confusing, but
I promise you, it really is like those same white people who are like, they're taking our jobs, me. They're the same ones who are just like,
salsa,
Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah. Like,
we're going to Cabo. Like, bitch.
You know, on Cinco de Mayo, the 5th,
you know, but it's like white people really took that day and like totally bastardized it. Like
what? But all I'm saying is, if I see you with like a sombrero or like a poncho, you're getting slapped. Like,
in case you didn't know,
and anyway,
that's racist.
Thank you. And the panorama is still going on. Y'all should not be out having margaritas, talking about happy day. No, none of that. Go home. But yeah, so Texas is just in shambles. People are dying in there. I seen this video. This is like it's related, but not. I seen this video, and I don't want to laugh, but I seen this video where this possum is frozen on a fence.
Oh my God.
And like a part of me is like, poor possum, but also a part of me is like, you should take your ass home. Like, why are you in these streets like this? It's frozen.
It's really sad. Wait, I gotta tell you, Dan, this might be too dark for the podcast. My mom told me about this story where this little boy was like playing in the snow when it first started snowing, and the next day his parents went to check on him and he froze to death in his sleep. I don't know if that needs to be fact checked, but I'm just like it's
so
serious.
He was outside and then he went
inside, but they don't have no heat, no nothing.
Wow.
and the people in Texas, they're really just not built for that.
Well, you know what's crazy too is I don't understand how they didn't have a plan. Like, I get it's hot there,
people in Texas, right? So,
but you never thought like these
That's
people
the thing.
never
No,
thought.
they never thought.
Not the civilians, obviously, but like the people in power.
right, the politicians, the
They
people in power,
never thought, hey, this
did
could
not.
happen.
Listen, Ted Cruz's tweet from 2016. I'll believe in climate change when Texas freezes over. Bitch, it froze. It froze.
And he
they
ran.
Really didn't
Oh,
think.
Well, I even
Texas is like, there's no way
They're
it could
shook.
ever possibly happen. We don't need to winterize anything. And now look
wow.
at people.
And not only that, like I have my brother lives in Dallas, and then I have so he didn't have power or heat or anything like that. But I also have friends who live out there. One of my friends, Jacqueline, check out her Instagram. Actually, she does these like little like Instagram videos about like, cause she's a nurse. So she just be educating the people, and I love her videos. Like I could just watch they're kind of like soothing in a weird way. Yeah, like I love to hear her. She's just so knowledgeable, and she just be like, "Look, people, we're about to talk about the COVID-19
The
vaccine."
ASMR voice.
And like, no, she breaks that shit down and to where like it's basically like COVID-19 vaccines for dummies. But aside the point, she was telling me that people were coming into the hospital with carbon monoxide poisoning because they were sitting in their cars, in their garage, and things like that. But it's just like the fact that they even that was even like the option they had, like
that's how far people.
And
are
no
going.
power, and then like
no power, no water.
You think about the people who have less than that on a daily basis.
Exactly.
So
no
it's like
food. I saw someone post a picture of a grocery store. That shit was empty.
Wow.
Friend, empty. Nothing on the shelves. Like, there are people who are going days without eating. So, I don't know. I mean, it's ugly. It's rough. Real talk, like, if you have money to share, please send some to
donate.
Mutual aid orgs in Texas. I do want to say, you can always give El Paso money, but just keep in mind that El Paso is not on the Texas grid. El Paso is on the western grid with, like, New Mexico, Arizona, literally like all of the western states. El Paso was on that grid, so I don't know that there's been any outages in that sense. Really, everyone else, right? The rest of Texas, it's literally just El Paso that's not on the same grid. So everyone else, I mean, in the RGV, like East Texas, North Texas, like all those people, like, please give them your money.
Yeah,
they really need it.
On top of that, even like the damages that it caused to their houses, houses were flooding.
Yes, from the pipes bursting. I mean, people's like ceilings like caving in, like.
And it's crazy because in the same space, you have these people like, yay, we're on Mars, and it's like billions of dollars for that, and it's just like.
And then people here on this planet are like, well, I mean, suffering.
And that's all, and
just suffering.
Like, and then
we can't even get through a winter here, and you talking about conditions on Mars, like
what? Like, okay, so speaking of that, we talked about that, like, other life forms, like, just leave it alone. Like,
but you know what?
Just
people,
leave it alone.
They just can't do it.
They can't just leave it alone. Something in them says, how can I ruin this?
Yeah, it's this really strange, like, I don't know, genetic white inclination.
And then when they link up.
Is there something there? How can I destroy it?
No.
How can I take it over?
Dude, people were so pissed because I made a post that was just like, people were mad at me. And the fact that some people were black people, I was like, hey, I didn't
Real talk, okay?
I may try.
Unless we are fucking doctors and scientists and shit, we're not going to Mars, bitch. They're leaving us here, okay? Calm down. You're not going.
They were not thinking about you. But I had made it makes me just think, like, this idea that, like, white people ruin everything. I made this post, and, like I said, some people of color were, like, pissed, but it's true. And I made sure I bleeped out specific words so I don't catch a ban for 6 to 12.
Facebook is like, is Nikki posting again?
Bro, they banned me just to remind me, bitch, we're watching. Like, dead ass thing. I'll wake up, I'm like, pop on Facebook. It's like, you violated community standards from
3 years ago.
In 2010. And I'm like, what did I... Like, they find a way. So I made sure all the words were bleeped out. I can't say white on there. Like, it's an automatic ban. I can't say white men combined. I can't say white women combined. I can't use the word trash in any of those sentences. But It was basically along the lines like, you've been offered this privilege and this space, and like y'all still fail at shit on a daily basis. Like, I'm like, I would be mad too. I would be raging too if I have all the tools in society to be successful. Like, society caters to me, and like
so
I just suck. Like, I'm living in my...
What's that thing? They colonize the whole world looking for spices, and they still don't season their food.
Like you miss. It's like with white people, it's like the point. The point. Like, and it's so confusing because I said, you know what? I would be raging. I would be putting raisins in the potato salad if I would. If I had all these tools and I still didn't amount to shit, I would be hella pissed. Like, how are you in these spaces where literally, like I said, the world caters to you? Like, even if you're poor. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, the world caters to you. Like,
whether y'all know it or not, yes. All
and you
these
still...
poor white folks, bitch, they still have far more advantages than even Nikki and myself.
It makes no sense. Like, their legacies are like Taylor Swift and like just these really trash people. Like,
why would you say that name in front of me? I'm kidding.
Honestly, she's trash. I will not. I think
like she's trash.
Okay, so
and first of all, damn it, I hate to be like this because I love women, but she's really not that great.
She's like a basic,
and she really isn't that great at singing.
So what I've recently found out is she's actually from Philly.
Yes, she
so
is.
I'm confused why she's like
doing country music. Listen, when I found out that she was some little white girl from Pennsylvania, I was like, why is this bitch out here on horses? Like, you don't even know anything about that life. Bitch, you ain't no ranch hand. You a goddamn liar. Pretending to be country.
And I can't, so she, okay, just sidetrack. So, wait, Mars, leave it alone. White people, leave it alone.
Also, wait, really quick.
You can't even take a Earth inhabitants.
We just want to emphasize the fact that it is like in white people's history, right? In their genes to be like repeating their history, you know what I mean? Look at this untouched territory. I'm just gonna go in there with my ship and kill whatever I see so that we can make houses there.
I think
like y'all did that before. We know we've
been there. That. I think of like just a dirty I
hope those Mars amoebas like just a tear them up though. You know what I mean? I hope those Mars amoeba just give them the shits and everything.
We're not going back again. I picture like just a badass kid with like nasty hands. And just trying to grab, like just like snot coming down their nose and like trying to grab at you. Like that's what I picture. Like I just don't like. Just leave it alone. Leave it alone. So, but anyway, speaking of Taylor Swift, so like apparently so I mean I guess she has a new album out. You know what kills me is like Taylor Swift is like loves being the victim.
Oh my god, yes she does.
Like, that's her...
But she is, like, when you think about it, like, if you think about every white woman that you've ever known in the world, it all comes down to Taylor Swift.
Right, an embodiment. And that's why white girls love her. That's why they're like, oh my god, I need something to believe in. Yeah. Like, let me believe in her.
Because not too long ago, she was, like, slut-shaming some popular girl in her songs, but now she's, like, the voice of women's empowerment for white women. Like,
and
get out of here, girl.
And I feel like she gets praised for doing, like, the bare minimum. Like, one, she wouldn't even, denounce, like, white supremacy and KKK. Like, because the KKK were like, we love you, Taylor. Like, you are for us. And she wouldn't even... But also, not only that, like, she's sued fans for, like... playing her music in videos, like she's a girl. She's a bitch.
Don't you have enough money?
For real. And those are the people who made you famous.
Exactly.
Like to me, she's just she's like a high school girl who's like in like all of the adults' eyes, she's so sweet and just like really smart and blah 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 blah. But then like she's that kid who's like punching. Yeah, that's what.
She's a bully.
Yeah, she's like
I just also want to say
people up.
She's also like very much like a representation of like the fragile white femininity. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because it's like
Lena Dunham.
Really quick.
What's
like,
that other
of the two issues that she's had with black people, right? Kanye West and Nicki Minaj. Yep. And those black people were always demonized in those cases.
Yep.
Right? Nicki Minaj was the bad guy who had to apologize to Taylor Swift and had to bring her out on stage during her performance and shit. But it's like
Taylor Swift
was getting all up in people's business though. She should have just sat there and ate her food and shut the fuck up.
Thank you. I forgot what I was gonna say though.
Lena Dunham. She's
Oh,
trash.
okay. She's trash.
She's creepy, too.
What she is? What's that other girl who tells jokes and she's not fucking funny?
Girl, that could be anybody. That could be.
She's
Amy
like,
Schumer.
That bitch
Got no
to
lip,
go. Literally this. Oh, I'm white and mediocre, and I'm gonna make jokes and call myself fat. And like, I don't get the humor. Like, honestly,
she's really not funny. She's extremely offensive.
And she looks like a damn squirrel. I'm telling you, every time I look at her, I think of a squirrel.
She's just not funny. You know
Well,
what I mean?
she just had. Why do these people have platforms?
Because they're white.
Why? Meanwhile, me and Shayla be fighting tooth and nail
Just to be on YouTube.
we're not even getting paid. Like, we fight tooth and nail to be here, and here you are idolizing bitches like Taylor Swift. What I will say is, when Taylor Swift first came out, I did listen to Taylor Swift.
Damn, real talk. I don't listen to country music, so
I didn't consider it country. It was like pop to me.
it's like pop country.
Okay, we're not gonna get into that.
We are gonna get into it. It's like pop country, okay? It's country pop
I
or
didn't
whatever.
consider.
Listen,
but I listened
the
to
only
a lot
country
of
bitches I listen to is Faith Hill, Dixie Chicks, and Shania Twain. Don't talk to me about no motherfucking Taylor Swift.
What about Dolly Parton?
I respect Dolly.
Okay, because I don't. All I know is Jolene.
Right. I don't really know. I think Jolene and like the 9 to 5, but
No, I don't even know that one. But Jolene, if you
as
ask
a
me,
person,
that's my life.
as a person, I fuck with Dolly.
I like the Dixie Chicks, but I don't really.
I also know that there was a song about killing a man named Earl. They did a cover of Landslide, which was also really good. As far as their other songs, I don't know, but I also respect them as people.
Yeah,
they went in on
Yes.
George W. Bush, and I was like, yes.
And ever since then, they were like
Blacklisted.
Yeah, blackballed.
And then they came out on that damn Country Music Award fucking show.
And then
it was first of all, it was them, and like all those white people already hated them, and then they brought out Beyonce, yo, like,
and
yo,
Beyonce
that's my
was
shit.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, Beyonce, the Dixie Chicks, like, fuck yeah,
Dude. So this also makes me think. Okay, this is like.
Taylor Swift could never. Okay, she could fucking never. Okay.
Well, no, it makes me think of that. Have you seen those videos of that girl? She's like, fat, yes, fat, yes,
yes.
ugly, could never.
Taylor Swift
Ugly
could never.
Yes. But this also makes me think of. I'm sure you've seen it. Justin Bieber.
Like, what did he do?
No, he just
Justin Timberlake.
Justin. Bitch ass
Girl,
Timberlake.
it's too late to apologize, like that song said. I'm not trying to hear that bullshit
It's
now.
too late to apologize.
But it is though.
Oh my God.
Janet Jackson went through so much shit because of him.
And it's
he's gonna
trash.
come now and I mean, how many years ago was that shit?
50-11.
Like, I think I was like still in like what, middle school, high school,
But
elementary school.
Not only that,
I'm about to be 30, bitch. You're late. Like,
and he said I just feel like he was saying what, like, I feel like someone said people were dragging him, and his PR was like, you did
I want to
apologize.
say people have been saying that he needed to apologize, but now that Britney documentary came out, right? It wasn't.
Did you watch that?
Real talk, I can't. I'll be honest.
Okay.
When I was a child, I was a Britney stan.
Same.
I watched every single special on TV that I could watch about Britney Spears. I loved all her music. She was from Louisiana, which is where I was born, and I loved her for that.
So I'm waiting for the downfall here because you're hyping her up.
I love Britney. And so when things started to go to shit, it was really, really hard to watch and really weird. But also it was kind of like at the same time where like I wasn't really listening to pop music, but still like seeing like the tabloids and everything.
Yeah.
It was really weird because I was just like that's kind of scary. Like I'm like trying to imagine, and I was not at all woke or anything. I was just like a human being thinking, damn, I can't imagine being in a swarm of people. You know what I mean? And in all the stuff that
They just don't respect.
all the stuff that I had seen about her up to that point had already talked about how like her parents thought that she had some sort of mental illness, or you know what I mean? Like they already knew that there was something going on, and so then to put her in that same situation, or put her in that situation where she was like on the Rolling Stone in like the underwear, and she was like 17 or whatever. Yeah. Like this shit was creepy and weird.
And then they ask her about her sexuality, and it's like.
She's a fucking child.
Yeah, like, also, I think because I didn't realize how, because I seen all this play out, like, in the tabloids and stuff like that, but, like, same thing. I'm like a kid. I'm just like, I'll see my little Britney bops, and, like, you know.
She had some bops, man.
Shit.
Britney
Till
had some bops,
this
dude.
day, I be bro, that one part where he's like, I went down and got it for you, baby. Like, she's like, I thought the old lady threw it.
I thought she threw it in there.
I went down. I literally, till this day, I stand for her. Like, it was hard to watch, because I did watch it. And, like, I don't think I was aware, like, especially at that time, how, like, crazy it is.
Right.
Because, like, there's just pictures of her crying. Like, and people
Just
are just
crying.
taking
Crying,
pictures.
dude.
So, the day she shaved her head, and then the paparazzi, like, the paparazzi who were taking pictures, like, in this documentary, they just sounded fucking stupid. They were like, but didn't she ask you?
Paparazzi are like
Bro,
some fucking
savages,
vultures, dude.
yeah, like,
they're nasty.
The people interviewing this paparazzi, they're like, didn't she ask you to stop? And he's like, or leave her alone? And he's like, yeah, like, for today, not forever. Like, cause she,
what kind of
when she had the umbrella, it was his car.
But it's also,
She was already dealing with so much stuff.
Yeah, people reach boiling points. And I remember I read this T-Pain quote, right, where he talked about that moment where she shaved her head.
Yeah.
He was just like she had said something about her being like when she shaved her head, she was just like, well, now, like, they just aren't gonna touch me anymore. Like, they're not gonna touch my hair anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, I just can't even imagine, you know, like, Britney Spears for white people is the pinnacle.
Yeah.
Like, Britney Spears for white people is, like, the pop star.
Yeah.
Madonna ain't shit. Britney Spears, okay?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just, like, again, to be a person who your parents were talking about you having a mental illness as a child, and you have people touching you, poking you, prodding you, dressing you, pulling your hair, doing whatever to you, telling you what to do. Your dad running your whole life for, like, the last 20 years. Like, I remember there was this thing where she was, like, in a car, and she was like, I can't wait to have a car so I can drive it one day. And it's like, you're grown.
Yeah.
And you have mad money, and you can't even drive a car? That's
trauma. It's a lot of trauma. Yeah. Yeah, I think the documentary definitely, I fell for her, like, a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because, like, usually when you
But
see
it
tabloids,
wasn't
it's like, it
until
looks crazy.
that came out that Justin was like, oh, well, I guess I
Oh,
have
I'm
to say
sorry.
something.
Yeah, and that's how I felt. I felt like it was a whole,
Just didn't
this
like
looks
shit.
good for me. Like, you know what I mean? He's been raggedy. I'll say right now, he's been raggedy.
Ever since he stopped letting his curls grow out, he's been trash. So.
Yeah, and not only that, just, like, profiting off of black. Like, he did this whole, oh, I'm, like, this hip, the white guy who does, like, black.
The beatboxing?
Bro, actually, I can't lie. Because when I was a kid, I was like... I was bopping to
Or
that.
maybe so. Maybe
his old music.
I never got the Justified album, but there were a couple good songs. But the songs were only good because they were made by black people.
Okay,
like, he was just singing on that.
He was.
Let's be clear.
Okay, because that one where he's like, they're like gliding in that box, and it's like a
Rock Your Body.
Yes. No. Yes.
And it's like colorful. And there's a girl.
And he's like, I can't. I don't want to embarrass myself because that though. Till this day, but like any of his new music, I'm just like,
oh, now
what's
he's
that happy.
Now
what's that song? He has like
from Trolls.
He had a song.
I don't know. He did a song for the Trolls movie.
Was it the happy song? No, that's Pharrell.
That is for him.
He had one song, and I literally was like, and the kids love it. I literally was like, if I hear
because
this,
it was in Trolls,
bro.
friend.
If I hear this song one more time, I'm breaking someone's leg. Like,
I just want to say, out of nowhere, he decided to be white again, and he's like, I'm a man in the wilderness type music or whatever.
Dude, no, Taylor Swift did that same shit. She just had an album come out. She got banged. She's wearing sweaters now. I'm just like, bitch, who are you?
Yeah,
who are you?
She's like, I'm just a regular white girl from Pennsylvania.
Dude,
you guys.
she has sweater combat boots. I'm just like, and then she went through that whole thing where she tried to do that whole, like, Beyonce hit with the formation, like, all that. And then she tried to do that, like
copy that same imagery in her music video.
What's that song she had? What she say? Nobody cares. It was a dumbass song, and it was basically her talking about, like, people talking about me, like, bad Taylor Swift
she
is here.
lives for that shit.
I'm just like, girl, bye. Like,
oh yeah. Old Taylor Swift is dead. Like, whatever.
Yeah, girl, you
been. You're the same girl. You just don't curl your hair anymore. You don't pretend to be from
and now she has
South. Okay?
Now she has like a little like one of those little like mullets like and
yeah.
And
she got her little shawl.
And she does her little French braid, and I'm just like, girl.
Now she's like, I'm a wilderness wife.
But she don't really be talking about how much
I
of
live
a
in cabins.
girl. No, she does not talk about how much. And Justin Timberlake did the same shit. But she also doesn't talk about how much of a thought she is. Like, live in that. Like, she makes songs about guys breaking up with her. Meanwhile, like, she breaks up with a guy and she's literally like, how are you? Like, it just
like,
is annoying.
It's like, real talk.
Well, who are you? The
real
next
talk or do your thing. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? I can't speak on nobody's pussy. Like, you do whatever you want to do. But you can't just be like, oh, all of these men have broken my heart. And I'm just going to make these songs and talk shit about them. Like, get a grip,
over
girl.
yourself.
Get a goddamn grip.
I expect that from like 12-year-old Taylor Swift.
Exactly.
But
I don't know. I just don't know.
I will
and
say-
I also just feel like, I don't know, like, I don't want to be an asshole, but none of those relationships were long enough for you to be that hurt about it. Like,
calm down.
you dated for a month, like, you don't even know that guy. Like,
Bro,
come on.
relax. It's gonna be okay. Once again,
I'll stop talking to dudes for like 3 months, and I'm like, don't get all heartbroken, bitch. Like,
We're-
you don't even know me.
you will live to see another day, and another dick. You'll be fine. You'll survive. I have no clue what's up with the anyway.
We don't even know what time it is.
What I will say, so good. What I will say is Serena Williams is the GOAT. We
Of
talked about
all
this
time.
forever and ever and ever.
I don't care.
They will never.
What
you will
white man
never.
you bring to the playing field, they will never be.
You'll
Serena
never.
Williams.
And then Naomi, girl, stop. You don't owe these white girls an apology about shit.
Exactly.
Fuck this. It wasn't like personal pronouns. She wanted to be called Jenny instead of Jennifer. Bitch, you're lucky I even said your name. Like,
Right.
I'm just. I feel that's pretty.
Be glad
yeah.
to be acknowledged.
Yes, like she whipped your ass. Just take that she even said your name and move the fuck on. Like,
True. We
And-
love Naomi.
right?
We appreciate her.
Yes.
She's doing her thing. We're super proud of her. Yeah. Like, we know her. We're proud of her.
we love her. You know, we see you, girl. But we're out of here.
God damn already. Wow.
Dude, my eye keeps twitching. It's gonna be a rough week.
I can't. It hasn't even started yet. Okay. Okay, well, we'll be back next time. I can't. You know, the time just be flying, you know.
Not this week. Get drugged. But we will see you on our next episode.
Yeah. Okay. Be careful. Take care of yourselves. And
Okay, now you try. Do a good job. Hey! Okay, now you try. You can't